Hello, everybody. This is Jari Carter. I'm the co-founder, chief revenue officer here at Oro Inc., and I'm pleased to welcome Ryan Shields from Indaba to talk about why every B2B e-commerce company needs a CRM. We're really pleased and lucky to have Ryan, who is the CEO of Indaba, with us here today. I'm just going to give a quick bio introduction to Ryan. Ryan and a couple of business partners established Indaba Group just 4 years ago, and in 4 short years they've grown the company to 16 plus people working with more than 30 clients around the country in the U.S. Ryan's the CEO, and prior to founding Indaba Group, he was a director of business development and business analyst at Visa. His education includes degrees from the University of Cape Town and Business School of South Africa. So he's got a lot of experience, certainly in the B2B commerce space. Just to give you a quick sense of who Indaba Group is, they are a strategic e-commerce agency specializing in enterprise software development, e-commerce platform development, and creative services. And importantly for this conversation today, customer experience management. They are actually one of the first solution partners with the oroCommerce platform as well. So not only are they working around oroCRM, they're also doing work in oroCommerce. Indaba strives to control, influence, and guide the entire spectrum of cloud commerce solutions around the globe through their innovation, communication, and again, importantly for today's meeting, collaboration. So with that, I will pass it over to Ryan. Ryan?
Thanks very much, Jari, and welcome to everyone who's kindly taken time out of their day to join us for this webinar based on the really promising, in fact, we're very excited about the number of attendees that have joined us for this webinar. Clearly, it's a burning issue, a burning challenge that B2B companies of all shapes and sizes across many different verticals face. You know, not to mention how often we're getting inquiries through the phone, through our website every single day from B2B merchants looking to crack the nut of you know, becoming modern in the digital space and replicating the successes that B2C has seen in the digital and e-commerce realms. I wanted to just jump off and you know, outline a couple of bullet points about why B2B companies need a CRM, and based on lots of research that we have done as a company and together with our partners such as the good people at Oro. We strongly believe that the traditional model of distribution is rapidly changing. It's a whole different ballgame than it was 10 years ago. Seriously, it's a whole different ballgame than it even was 1 year ago. It is changing that quickly. Today, B2B customers are increasingly acting like consumers. Think B2C. You know, just put your consumer's hat on. That is how people are acting as a B2B customer in the e-commerce space. They have a desire for self-service tools that give them access to instant product information at their fingertips through many devices, but more and more so on mobile devices. Many consumers are beginning to buy directly from wholesalers and manufacturers through easy-to-use e-commerce websites. You know, we need to ask ourselves how distribution businesses can evolve to meet the demands of the 21st century customers. And we're going to go through a few key ideas to optimize your B2B game plan for today's constantly evolving landscape. In fact, we've come up with 10 pointers on how to do just that. The first point is make your e-commerce, make e-commerce itself your business hub. Make it the central tenet of everything that you do in your B2B business. A couple of points here is, you know, as a distributor, it's important to recognize that B2B customers are increasingly tech-focused. They're not working in a back office somewhere with pen and paper and using fax machines. They are tech-focused. Again, think B2C. Millennials are moving up into procurement and management roles that are being vacated by retiring baby boomers. They shop on their iPads, their smartphones, and they expect to go online to purchase corporate suppliers at any time. Again, think B2C. It's exactly the same behavior or exactly the same intended behavior or expressed and desired behavior. These consumers or these buyers, they want highly informational, content-rich, fully functional e-commerce websites that allow them to complete all of their business transactions in one single place. Gone are the days where we have multiple vendors with multiple systems, multiple procurement channels that we all need to manage and wade through in order to conduct which essentially and should be a pretty simple transaction. These buyers are increasingly seeing that we see that they have little patience for suppliers who make online purchasing difficult and will most likely leave these suppliers and engage with their more tech-savvy competitors. This generational shift is happening now, and it will certainly pick up speed over the next 5 years as the last of the baby boomers retire. Therefore, wholesale distributors must stop treating e-commerce sites as add-ons and instead view e-commerce as the critical hub of their business. Here's some good to know, little tidbits, little nuggets of information through research. B2B sales are growing at an annual rate of 19% online compared to 17% for retailers. Now that gap may seem pretty small, but B2B started in terms of the inertia that we're witnessing right now. It started a lot more recently than the B2C trend. So by 2020, according to the research firm Frost & Sullivan, B2B e-commerce will account for a staggering $12 trillion worldwide. The B2B growth figures are astounding. Yet B2B CMOs are predicting that e-commerce sales will comprise only 10% of their business yet next year. We need to fix that. That's why we're having this webinar, and that's why I believe that this webinar and this presentation is so well attended. Another nugget, the spread of B2C e-commerce has influenced what customers want from an online B2B store. This means that they expect websites that are well designed, easy to use, and that help them quickly find what they want. In particular, enhanced search has become a priority. 76% of B2B customers have listed it as one of their top features. As you can imagine, the product catalog on a B2B site is that much more complex, diverse, and rich. So searching becomes a very critical piece of the navigation and ultimate product selection for your customer. The second point that we have come up with is you have to share expertise through engaging content. In order to reach a wider global audience, it's likely cost prohibitive to have all the boots on the ground that you need in order to demonstrate your expertise in your service or product arena. And this needs to be basically done through inviting people to engage with content directly through your website. The way that we have come up to do this is, along with convenience and rich functionality, buyers want information and lots of it, and they want it available at all times and on all devices. Today's consumers do a lot of online research, and they appreciate credible content that helps them make decisions. You're not buying a pair of shoes for your wife. You are buying equipment for your business, and you have a lot of people to report to. You need to provide this content for them through your e-commerce website, and consumers will be more likely to purchase from you. Rich online content offers other benefits to your business as well. Namely, it increases your website's credibility with search engines, leading to higher search engine rankings and more traffic from organic search. Online content can also fuel your social media and email marketing efforts. Social media, guess what? It's no longer just for consumers. It is increasingly used and increasingly critically important in the B2B realm as well. All of your activities should work together as you push out great content and create a reputation as a resource for credible information for your market or for your industry. Another nugget, in fact, a whopping 93% of B2B buyers prefer to purchase online with self-serve information and ordering options from vendors, according to Forrester research. Again, gone are the days when they're relying solely on their business representative to visit them on site and be sold to. The B2B buyers want to make their own informed choices based on the best content that is available to them. You need to give them that content. That needs to be effortless of them. That should be a given. Google stated that a customer needs 10.4 pieces of information before making a purchase decision on a product. That means that you need to have extremely rich product data. Every single attribute, every single filter of that product needs to be presented to the customer with all options available to them, what the minimum order quantities are, what any discounts may be at a certain threshold of ordering, etc. And if you're producing white papers or ebooks to support your products and add to that compelling content, ensure that they are short, concise, sweet. That's 5 pages or less if you listen to 70% of B2B buyers. This is an example of one of our B2B customers where we can show that they are shopping by a manufacturer based on a product filter. You will see we can also filter by additional categories, by additional colors. These are all very, very common and expected navigation and pieces of functionality that you see in the B2C realm. Again, B2B users, buyers specifically, are looking for the same, if not better, and more rich navigation, more rich content, and much more easier flow to the checkout. The third point that we have is get a 360-degree view of your customer. This, to me, is probably the most important benefit. It's not a feature of a CRM. It's a benefit of integrating your CRM with your e-commerce and with your business as a whole. What does that mean? So basically it means you should run your entire business on a single true cloud platform. What that means is you should be leveraging the cloud. The concept of big data lives in the cloud. All of your systems should be plugged into each other through the cloud so that you could really mine that data and understand it better and predict when your customers are going to be buying what, when, and how much. You need to rid yourself of multiple disparate applications and bring all your data into a single customizable system accessible from anywhere. And that means accessible for your customers as well as accessible for you as managers and administrators of your products, of your sites, of your marketing. You need to know your operations like never before. There needs to be no secrets. Every single team, every single department in your company needs to get behind the e-commerce initiative and support it as the hub, not as that add-on. You need to be able to gain insight from data gathered across your organization and empower your employees with the information that they need. Record every interaction automatically in a single searchable system from marketing to selling to support and service. You need to engage with your users everywhere with omni-channel commerce. Omni-channel is not just B2C, it is B2B. In fact, I believe that B2B and omni-channel go more hand in hand than just B2C. You need to reach your customers online, by phone, over email, in person, and more. Again, that plays into the omni-channel play. You need to exceed expectations and increase that average lifetime customer value, and we'll get into how we do that a little later on. You need to serve the supplier as well as the customer. By putting e-commerce at the hub, you will be able to automate ordering from your supplier. Your supplier may be able to even drop ship for you so you can avoid holding inventory in warehouses and expanding warehouses. If the margins are there and you can drop ship, why not save on that admin? How do you do this? You know, distributors need to create opportunities to nurture relationships with their B2B customers and partners. Why not offer your suppliers opportunities to communicate with and connect with your end customers? I know that that could likely be touchy, you're giving up your precious customers, but only do that if that is going to enrich the relationship with your customer and your company and further fuel repeated business, repeated purchases, as well as make sure that you're always presenting the most compelling product information as well as the most up-to-date products. And stay up to date with your customers' industries themselves. Start offering products that they may find useful before they even realize that they are available. Everything you do should be aimed at making business better for your suppliers. The fifth point is to make instant updates to marketing campaign lists targeting e-commerce website purchases. This is critical. How do we do this and why do we do this more importantly? Now, marketing campaign lists should be automatically updated based on your predetermined rules and subsequent actions of your customers on your website. For example, if promotions are scheduled to deploy to lists of customers who achieve a specific checkout spend, they should instantly be updated to include those who fall within the list query parameters. Essentially, what that means is you need to start segmenting your customers based on their behavior on the site, what you know about them online, what you know about them offline. Get that 360-degree view of your customers so that you can start preemptively offering them the right content, the right product at the right time and at the right price. Your web store, your website should be connected to your customer account in your CRM. So customers who are delinquent, who have exceeded their credit limits, for example, are flagged in the web store. This prevents them from making selections in the shopping cart that basically prevent them from checking out because their credit limits are exposed. Basically, what you're trying to do is make sure that their experience is as frictionless as possible, and you achieve that by acting on information on each individual customer and or company that you're dealing with. Good to know. One of the benefits of understanding your customers' behaviors and what sites they visit and what their business is engaged with when they're not on your site. What we can do by retargeting is we can increase branded search by 1,046% and make site visitors 70% more likely to convert when they come back to your site. That is huge. You're able to follow your customer when they're not on your site, which is fantastic. The sixth point is grow your online community to cultivate brand evangelists and improve SEO with ratings and reviews. B2C has been doing this for the longest time, is cultivating that community, brand evangelists, and making sure that every single area of content has an impact on SEO. And why would you not enable your consumers, your customers, to write ratings and reviews, and you're generating content for free, and Google loves that nature of content, and that just pushes up your rankings in the search engines. Another nugget of information, according to Google, 89% of B2B researchers use the internet during the B2B research process. Again, they're not shopping through paper catalogs, they're not hitting the phones, they're not even answering the phones for people hunting for their business. They're using the internet. We need to get behind that. Further to that, data suggests that 73% of global traffic to B2B companies originate from search engines. So it's essential that businesses with online B2B stores, they need to master that search marketing. Again, it is imperative that you're leveraging free content from your users, from your buyers, through ratings and reviews. The seventh point is you need to optimize the buying and selling transaction. How do we do that? Pretty long list here, but there's lots to do and lots of opportunity. The first point is you need to provide the tools needed for buying efficiency, including routine, repeat, and bulk ordering capabilities. Where we have seen some huge success with the B2C side, with many of our customers, is enabling a subscription-based model. So why not use the same principle for your B2B customers and autofill their products that they seem to run out of and fulfill on a periodic basis? If you can start timing when that happens, you can preemptively ship them those products as they need them. You also can do the same with your suppliers. By tightening up the relationship and the technology with your suppliers, as your customers are on the autofill frequency, on that routine autofill, you can be on the same program with your suppliers, alleviating any out-of-stock issues that you may run into. Therefore, you want to marry the supply side with the buy side through integration with vendors, distributors, manufacturing entities, all within the same system or ecosystem of systems. By enabling online orders to automatically convert to invoices with workflow management, you can expedite approval, fulfillment, and billing. And obviously that alleviates a lot of friction in the transaction, not to mention cash flow. You want to give customers their own negotiated pricing. You want to give them their own terms, their own credit limits. You want to support organizational requirements such as multiple roles, delegated user administration, and organization-specific workflows. What we mean by that is you want to be able to target individual vendors, or should I say individual customers, by understanding their behavior, understanding their price breaks that they may have based on perhaps thresholds of minimum order values. You also want to you want to get deeper into that. You want to leverage the concept of customer groups and customer segmentation, which is very much a staple within the B2C realm, but you want to leverage that for the B2B realm as well. Again, you want to remove as much friction as you possibly can for your B2B buyer. Now, you also want to provide your B2B customers with the same payment methods as they expect on B2C, and then some, such as invoice billing, credit limits, and ACH processing. Obviously, the more information you have, the better. You can make that decision on what the terms you offer to your customer. Then, obviously, the link to your CRM, and as long as your data in the CRM is accurate and updated and curated and maintained and owned, you can make those decisions with a lot more education and a lot more intelligence. You want to also be able to provide connect your product catalogs directly to your customer's e-procurement system with punch-out capabilities via third-party connectors. Here what we've done, this is one of our B2B customers that we have fulfilled a quick order form. Not every customer or for repeat purchases wants to shop through the traditional catalog, maybe through a search, maybe going through the filter of size, shape, and filtering through attributes. A lot of them will know the exact SKU number or the name of the product that they simply want to reorder, or they already know what they want, and this is what it says. This is a quick order. What we can do is it's essentially like placing an order through a catalog and mailing it in. What we've done is we've just replicated that expected and very comfortable transaction, that comfortable method of placing an order, and we put that onto the website. So we're not trying to change the way people order. We're giving them as many options as they possibly can to order in the method that they are most comfortable in. A few good things to know. You know, when it comes to handling payments, you know, 40% of B2B customers consider the ability to integrate finance, accounting, and order management services through an e-commerce portal. They consider that to be essential. Furthermore, according to ePayments Rising, it was a market report for 2014 conducted by Arden Partners. 71% of B2B customers are now fully capable of paying their suppliers electronically. Furthermore, 89% expect that they will be issuing electronic payments to the majority of the suppliers by 2016. Having your e-commerce as the hub really lubricates that whole function, and again removes all the friction, as much friction as we possibly can. The last thing I'd like to say just on that is, you know, with close to 90% of B2B customers anticipating the fall of the paper check in favor of faster and more advanced online payments, there may soon be over $6 trillion being transferred electronically between buyers and suppliers around the world. First, however, we need to address some of today's most vexing B2B payment challenges. If you want to take a note of that URL there, that's a fantastic publication by Oro, our partners. The 8th step is go mobile. We mentioned early on that the millennials, the more tech-savvy buyers, are increasingly mobile and using all devices that they have to interact with your business. So having a solid B2B mobile strategy is absolutely critical to your ongoing e-commerce success. Using responsive design principles, your site automatically adjusts to screen sizes and capabilities to different devices. Computers, mobile phones, tablets, you name it. You want to better enable field sales teams with the use of the mobile devices. Can anyone say iPad Pro with the stylus? I think that is really going to revolutionize how B2B really embraces omni-channel by enabling your sales field team members to go out there in the field and interact with the customer utilizing digital technology. You also want to be able to create content only at one time and have it automatically adapt to the format of the device that is being presented on. I have an example here of one of our B2B customers. This is for a builder supply company over in Alaska. You'll see that the top left site, the version of the site is the desktop. It then is responsive to display appropriately with the most compelling content on tablets and then again on mobile. You want to make sure that, especially in places like Alaska, that people are going to likely be more active on their mobile phones than they are on their desktop. There's a lot of field work going on, especially in the construction space in B2B. Couple of really good talking points here. 85% of online shoppers start a purchase on one device and finish on another. You can imagine, how often people are researching online on the mobile, and they want to be able to continue and complete the transaction on their desktop. Linking your e-commerce site to your CRM is therefore critical, and being able to follow your customer through their journey, no matter what device they're on, no matter what site they're on, is incredibly important. Another nugget, 65% of executives are comfortable making a business purchase from a mobile device. That, to me, was very, very telling. That is as high, and I believe it's probably higher than the equivalent metric on the B2C side of things. Companies that have been able to successfully implement the omnichannel in their B2B practices have seen customer loyalty increase by an amazing and impressive 66%. That is huge, and again, that speaks to the fact that digital and offering a complete digital solution to your customers is one thing, but having your staff and your resources embrace that as well really pushes the omni-channel, and again, increases the loyalty of your customers at 66%. Obviously, B2B is extremely hot on real-time customer service, or at least customer service. By combining technologies and making e-commerce your hub and integrating with CRM, that customer service needs to be real-time. So what does that mean, and what can it help with? The first thing that we have identified is you want to be able to provide your customers with a password-protected self-service customer center to manage all aspects of their business with you. You don't necessarily want to arm yourself with a call center to handle all inquiries of all shapes and sizes for customer service. Utilize the tools and the technology and the digital assets that you have in place, and have them talk to each other. You want to be able to have your customers access their order history, the details of every sales order they have ever placed, whether online or offline, and view order status. You want them to be able to track shipments, reorder, which is incredibly important. You don't want to take up man hours to place a reorder if the customer can just do that with the click of a button. And you also want customers to update shipping and payment information. Not every product on B2B is just click and order. There's going to be a number of custom-built products that will need to be quoted prior to shipping. Maybe the customer is trying to negotiate lower rates or different shipping. Perhaps another important factor is your customers may want to use their own shipping methods. They may have an agreement with UPS based on the volume of shipping they do. We would be able to absolutely utilize their shipping, utilizing their accounts with the appropriate shipping vendors, so that you're not even paying for shipping. Of course, that means that you may be losing some margin on shipping, so that is a balancing act. But the main thing is you want to be able to give your customers the flexibility to update shipping to their own shipping methods. You also want them to be able to pay their outstanding invoices in the case that it's either cash on delivery or you've provided terms to them. Again, it's incredibly important that that is tied into your CRM, so you can identify any risks in late payments, delayed payments, or zero payments whatsoever. In the event that you offer returns and refunds, you want to be able to handle that online with minimal effort. You want to be able to send out return shipping labels, etc. Again, you may have different arrangements with different customers, and you want to be able to handle that as efficiently as possible using the technology and not involving humans every step of the way. The final step is simply you need to push the envelope of new ideas and break free of the sentiment that B2B is always going to be behind B2C. I think we're in a very interesting stage now where B2C has laid the framework for how to be successful in e-commerce. And I think B2B, just in terms of performance and wealth of the industry alone, I think B2B is really going to start setting trends, and it's up to us as professionals in the industry to really start thinking out of the box and pushing the envelope of new ideas. You already have the attention of your customers through really face-to-face relationships that you built with them. Let's keep on doing that. But in order to keep those relationships and keep the attention and keep the loyalty that you have from your customers, you need to constantly experiment and to increase customer loyalty. So constantly look at additional technologies that you can add into the e-commerce and CRM ecosystem to push that loyalty. Do A/B testing. It's standard on B2C. You want to always see how you can push repeat orders, how you can push the average order value within the cart, and increase that conversation and the dialogue with your customers, with your audience, utilizing all the B2C tried and tested tools in social, in PR, etc. So at the end of the day, dream big. Be sure you have a platform that can grow and scale extremely quickly at the drop of a hat. You need to make sure that you have not only just the platform, but the infrastructure from servers to search engine optimization, to the right marketing team in place, to the right marketing strategy in place. You want to have the chance to implement new solutions as your business grows. And what that means is you need to be with a partner and a platform that can be on the bleeding edge of technology to help you really lay the foundation for leading the B2B charge in e-commerce. And that pretty much wraps us up. I do want to make special mention to our co-sponsors and partners, oro. We love working with oro. Oro Inc. is the company behind the oro suite of products, oroCommerce, oroCRM, and the oro platform. Founded in 2012 by none other than Yoav Kutner and Jari Carter, both of former Magento, as well as Dima Soroka, who was the lead architect at Magento. For those of you who don't know, Roy Rubin was the co-founder and former CEO of Magento. He's also joined oro as an advisor. So such a wealth of information in the e-commerce space as it stands, but also I would say really made one of the biggest impacts in B2C e-commerce that in the history of e-commerce. And in order to be in the company of these fine people, to lay the path down for B2B is such an amazing honor, and we're very, very happy to be in that company. A little bit about oroCRM. We believe it is the most flexible open source CRM application we have ever used. It can literally plug into anything that we throw at it. It can be customized to fit your business needs. Every business is so unique, and we see a lot more unique elements between B2B merchants than we do on B2C. There's a lot of just commonalities between B2C. What you see with one is what you see with another. It is so different and vastly different in the B2B realm. It doesn't matter what systems your company already has in place. We can absolutely integrate CRM, the oroCRM product, with those systems. Again, making sure that e-commerce and CRM is at the hub of your digital offering. oroCommerce, we are extremely honored to be a core launch partner with oroCommerce, and one of the reasons why we love it is it is an open source B2B commerce application built with flexibility in mind. It's built on best of breed technologies that we follow very, very closely, and we stay on the cutting edge of. Suffice to say, we feel like we are in a tremendous place to continue to offer our customers in B2B as well as B2C a key differentiating factor when they partner with us and our partners with oro. With that, I'm going to hand over to Jari. I think I got a few little messages pop up that a number of questions were asked by the audience, and I would be happy to answer any of those that come up.
Yeah, great. Hey, thank you so much, Ryan. That was a great overview and great explanation, especially to some folks who may be just getting introduced into kind of the B2B space. We'd love to invite you all to just ask questions in the chat. you're welcome to ask any question you have, and we'll try and get to them here this morning. If not, we'll follow up with answers. There's a couple that have already come in, and I'm just going to take these in sort of the order of, I think, relevance for the audience. One is, can you provide, Ryan, an example of like a couple of new ideas that have been successful for one of your customers? Like, for example, where is a good place to start, pushing the envelope, and how have you seen your customers be successful at doing that?
Sure. Yeah, I'll get into one or two specific examples in a second, but we really see when B2B customers, when B2B merchants really stop thinking about themselves as being different to B2C and almost overthinking what it means to be a B2B merchant, and really taking and adopting the successful and winning formulas that a lot of our B2C customers have engaged in. That is when we see those B2B customers, those B2B merchants really start excelling, and we start seeing hockey stick curves in sales. One of them is exactly what we're talking about here is the simple act of integrating your e-commerce site with your CRM tool and getting that 360-degree view of your customer. I think that alone is if that's all a B2B merchant does, they're going to be head and shoulders above their competition. Taking it several steps further is making sure that you are leveraging all of the tools and the systems and the devices that they are using on a day-to-day basis as a consumer. Put yourself in the shoes of your customer. How would you like to interact with your product, with your site? If it's an unpleasant experience for you, imagine what your customer is experiencing, because they're going to be a lot less forgiving because they're not receiving a paycheck from your company. And making sure that you are adopting B2B marketing and promotional tactics as well. Promotions are not just for B2C. Offer shipping discounts. Make sure that you are very well tapped into tax laws. Partnering with a company like Avalara, who is going to be very, very on top, who is the only company, in my opinion, that's really on top of tax and legislation about tax holidays, sales tax, etc., based on different products. If you can pass those savings on to your customers, and that's a bonus for them, that's going to really, that's going to surprise them if they don't have to pay tax on a product during a certain day or month or week, based on a tax holiday that is mandated by the government.
Yeah, great. Super helpful. Maybe just a more practical question here. Should somebody have a separate site for their suppliers versus their end customers, or should they all live on the same domain? What are you seeing customers doing there?
I would say the majority are utilizing the same site, and by adopting or rolling out the appropriate modern platform on B2B, on e-commerce, you're actually able to present a guest view. So before you know anything about the user or the browser that is coming to your site, you're offering them a very generic view of the site. By enabling customer group and customer segmentation, again, linking it directly to the data that sits in your CRM, once that supplier or end customer logs in, you will be able to either, in a very broad sense, label them as a supplier or label them as a customer and present the appropriate and suitable product and content as either a supplier's eyes or a customer's eyes. By data mining the data in your CRM even further and really being diligent and passionate about knowing every detail about the individual buyer, not just the company. If that individual buyer logs in, or the supplier or the customer logs in, you can give them extremely tailored, extremely targeted content and products. Give them exactly what they want, preempt what they want based on all the information that you're gathering from them through retargeting analytics, through analytics on your site, and also just from any notes that maybe a field sales representative has taken based on a conversation that they had face-to-face with a customer. Really use all of that data to give them the right information, the right content, the right product, the right price at the right time, without them even having to ask you for it. And so that's why we're able to use the same platform, the same domain, just with different login and data mining. Here and there, it does make sense to have a separate supplier site and a separate customer site, and that is something that we could certainly discuss and expose that need and dive into that need if it's an appropriate solution for our customers.
Great, and just in that vein, there's another question along these lines. How should content differ from suppliers, for suppliers and customers? What should be some of the differences that people should think about?
So, you know, as customers, they may and they will likely need more informational and educational content to compel them to make that purchase. As a supplier, I would guess that innately they're going to already have that technical knowledge about the product itself. So for them, it's going to be more mechanical, more clinical in terms of, you know, what's the price, what are the dimensions, what is the customer looking for, what are the applications that the product is being used for. But that last point, you know, what are the applications for the product? We found that is a really good filtering and navigation mechanism for customers, rather than just presenting products as they are. What you may want to do is say, hey, what are you using this product for? For example, one of our customers, they work with latches, hinges, door locks, handles, fasteners, you name it. If I'm an end customer and an end consumer, maybe I'm fixing my boat and the door on my boat cabin has broken because of the hinges broken. If I can navigate through to the site based on all boating components, parts and accessories for doors, navigate to hinges, then absolutely I'm going to get to my product a lot quicker than if I was just basically shopping and browsing through search based on limited knowledge of the technicalities of the product.
Okay, great. I think we have time for one more here, so I'll just pick one around mobile, since we haven't discussed that much and it was in your presentation. Mobile, how should the mobile experience differ for the B2B? You know, what's the sort of user experience should people think about in terms of mobile shopping for B2B?
Sure. You know, for me, it is not incredibly or vastly different versus B2C. Because the principle of going mobile is really stripping down the non-essential components and items on a page, and each of those pages needs to be really thought about in isolation, but also in totality based on the customer journey and voyage through the site. So you need to figure out and do some really deep audience and persona analysis and understand which of your audience and which segments of your audience are accessing your site through desktop versus tablet versus mobile, and curate and adapt the content on each page based on each audience segment, based on each device differently. So for example, if you've identified that a particular user is more of a researcher or is more at the research phase of their journey rather than on the ready-to-purchase journey, you want to be able to provide very compelling, educational, and informative yet approachable content to that user on the mobile device. As we mentioned earlier on in the slides, a huge number of people are using mobile to basically research products and then complete the transaction on a desktop or anything other than mobile. So what that would tell you, if that is the profile of your typical customer, then you would likely want to use mobile as more of a research tool rather than a tool to you know, just simplify or expedite purchase. But with that being said, you may, through audience and persona analysis, work out and figure out that your customers are more likely to just use mobile to purchase, then you would just absolutely want to strip out some of the the more rich content and expedite ordering. Of course, you could also add in a quick order functionality within your mobile site as well. So short answer to the question at the end of my long explanation is it really depends on what your audience and what the persona analysis tells you to do, and that will depict how the content will differ and how mobile shoppers differ for B2B versus B2C. It all comes down to how much you understand your B2B customer.
Okay, great. Great. Well, I think that's all that we have time for. We may follow up with a couple more of these questions offline. Thank you so much, Ryan, for being on the call today, for walking us through the information that you did. Thanks to everybody who attended. We will be putting this presentation up on our YouTube channel, so feel free to view it again if you missed parts of it, or if you'd like to view it again. Thank you, everyone, for attending. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.